Thank the chairman as well. This issue, I think, is critical in your state and critical in the Midwest, maybe even more so than the Mountain West where I live. But you mentioned something already that I had not thought of, which is the effect of certain religious practices and usury laws that run counter to their religious beliefs, encountering the financial system that we have in place in the United States. So lots to learn on my part. I want to thank our witnesses for helping instruct and inform and provide wise counsel to this committee. So welcome, witnesses. And thanks again, Madam Chairwoman. Buying a home is a critical part of the American dream. Because of higher prices and higher mortgage rates, this dream is out of reach for an increasing number of Americans. That's certainly true in my state of Wyoming. I hear weekly from Wyoming people that are struggling to find a foothold in the housing market. While current homeowners can use their home's equity to trade up in the housing market, first-time home buyers are finding themselves largely priced out of housing markets. So I think it's important that we talk about how we can get past this and find alternative housing financial products like land contracts and lease-to-own agreements that have fewer hurdles and that don't protect consumers adequately. Compliance costs for banks have increased since the great financial crisis, and the fixed costs of underwriting have risen, hitting consumers that need to borrow a relatively small amount the hardest. This hurts low-income and rural home buyers the most. And while it's not clear how many households use land contracts or contracts for deed, it's not surprising that anecdotally their use has increased since the great financial crisis. More recently, rising mortgage rates have also pushed home buying further out of reach for many families. And Congress shares some of this blame. The Congress, both under the last administration and under this one, has been embarked on an irresponsible spending spree. The Fed's been forced to raise rates to combat inflation, and as a result, mortgage rates have also risen. The median family in Wyoming has an income of about $65,000 each year. When mortgage rates were at 3%, this family could afford to purchase the median home in Wyoming at $280,000 with a modest down payment. With rates closer to 7%, that family can now only afford a $200,000 home. So this loss of purchasing power has been felt most acutely by the families that have been saving for years for a down payment, only to discover a house is even farther out of reach. So now's the time to think creatively about how to help families purchase their first home. Financial products and tools to build wealth and accomplish goals are necessary. Let's explore them. Families need access to a variety of financial products and the flexibility to select the one that would best suit their needs. They also need to understand the trade-offs between various products and have the information they need to make the best decision for them, for their families. So our witnesses today come from states that use a variety of laws to govern land contracts. While data on the use of land contracts is thin, there are regional variations in their usage. States have exercised their oversight of consumer protection to do what's best for the citizens of their state. Let's explore which states are doing it the best. Let's find best practices. State governments should continue to evaluate how to ensure households can make informed decisions and how to protect consumers from fraud. Finally, the clearest way to make housing more affordable is to make more housing, period. We need to reduce barriers to building more houses so that more households can realize their American dream. Thank you, Madam Chairman, for holding this important hearing and inviting witnesses that can elucidate this issue.